How's it going, beautiful people of Instagram? This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, coming to you here from the car studio. I got a little bit of punch right now. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to go to the art supply store and get some stuff. I'm going to go get me some art supplies today on Martin Luther King Day. Super awesome. So let's do that. I'm going to go get some oil sticks, or an oil stick. I'm going to go try this oil stick. People have been talking to me about it over and over, this brand. So I'm going to go check it out. I want to talk to you guys today about a quote by the great Michelangelo. The great Michelangelo. He said, if people knew how hard I worked to achieve, right, my mastery, they wouldn't think it's such a great deal, right? I was such a great deal. Along those lines, I'm giving you guys a loose quotation of that quote. If people knew how hard I work, right, to gain my mastery, people knew how hard I worked to make it appear, right, like I know what I'm doing. In other words, to put it loosely, right? They wouldn't think it was so great. And when I first read that, I was like, man, this cat knew what he was talking about. Look, he's trying to teach us something, right? I see all these little quotes and these things as signposts, right, from the masters. They're signposts. Look, this is the way this thing is done, right? Follow this path. Follow this thing. This is how it's done. And again, when I read that, I was like, man, sorry that I'm not making eye contact, guys, because they're going to have to hear my beautiful voice. But just think about it, He's really telling us, Michelangelo is really telling us, look, it's not your style, it's not your thing, it's not this, it's not that. It's how hard you work. It's how much you dive in. One of the people that I respect very much said, look, you want to get good at something, you want to be the best, right? You want to reach your goals or reach your potential, right? You never reach all of it anyways, right? Because you always, it's like the universe, right? It's ever expanding, right? You never reach all of it. But you're able to stretch, right, to your potential. He said, be the hardest working person in the room. That's how you do it. You have to be the hardest working person in the room. You don't have to be the smartest, thank God, right? Because that would disqualify me, like that. Right? Many people out there are thinking they're the smartest people. That's a problem right there. Thinking you're smart and you got an edge because you're smart and this and that. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because it keeps you not growing, right? It keeps you thinking that you don't have to work that much. This is what happens a lot to is it? No, it's not prodigy. It's kids that that overexcel, right? When they're young. I don't know what they're called. I forgot what they're called. Children that overexcel, right? Like children actors, right? All of a sudden they become good at something, or they get a big break or whatever, right? And then many of them don't believe that they have to try that hard anymore. I know because it happened to me. I wasn't a child actor, but when I was a kid, a lot of people, I don't know if it was because people try to encourage you, right? So they start giving you a lot of false ideas, right? A lot of false ideas. Oh my God, you're so smart. Oh, look at you. I cannot believe you said that, right? And then my mom would try to show me off to the rest of the people, the rest of the gang, right? And saying, oh, look, my son Jose is so smart. Look, he can hold a conversation with adults very simple and of course she was trying to raise my self-esteem and all of that, right? But at some point, it got me to believe that I didn't have to work that hard because I had what it takes. And I know I've talked to a lot of people and they say that the same thing happened to them, right? And I'm not saying that overesteeming a child or it's better to have a high sense of self-esteem than a low one. What I'm trying to say is it's great to have a high sense of self-esteem, even at some point, even a high egoic self-esteem. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, as long as it's checked by you, right? It's constantly checked, like, oh yeah, I'm totally being egocentric right now, and then you're able to see it. But the worst problem is thinking that you don't have to try. That somehow you have a handle on it. That somehow you've been blessed and touched by the gods, and you carry with you the Midas touch, and that you don't need to put in work. That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people out there have been told that. A lot of people out there have been told, look, you don't need to try that hard, right? You're very smart. And they don't say it in those words, of course, but they do say it in words like it'll work out for you, you know? Just wait and see. It'll happen for you. You're so smart. You'll figure it out. I'm here to tell you, folks, you ain't going to figure it out. It doesn't work like that. You don't figure it out and then work. It's like figuring it out and then putting in the work. It's like saying, I'm going to get buff, right? I'm going to go get strength to go lift the weights, right? I'm going to go get strength to go lift those weights. No, you lift the weights to get strong. It's the other way around. I hope I'm making any sense. Someone out there. And that's what we do as artists, right? That's why Michelangelo said, look, if people saw how hard I worked, they wouldn't think it's so great. They wouldn't think it's so great if people saw how hard I work. How hard I work to achieve my mastery, right? People would think I'm an average guy. They wouldn't think I'm the great Michelangelo, right? They would think I'm a fraud, maybe, right? Oh, I can do that. All I have to do is what? Put A, B, and C together, and then work as many hours here and work as many hours there, and on and on and on. Yeah, I got that. I can do it. You know. And the thing is that the whole point of it is the work. The whole point of it is the work. You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys seen like those cheesy things on YouTube. I hope this is not one of those cheesy things later on. But you guys have seen those cheesy things like get inspired and blah blah blah, and they show like clips from high performance people. High performance people are people that you don't think they work a lot, but they work their eyeballs out, because otherwise you wouldn't know them. They work a lot. That's how you know them. That's how we know the name Madonna, Will Smith, Michael Jordan. The only reason we hear of their names is because they work their eyeballs out, right? And not in an unhealthy way, as people tend to think. No, these people are reaching their goals. These people are reaching their potential. They're going above and beyond their comfort zones. And I don't know if you guys seen those motivational little videos. There's a lot of, I think Evan Carmichael, I think that's his name, Evan Carmichael. This Canadian guy, he shows these videos and they're really cool. You know, they'll show like Will Smith saying, "You will not outwork me." Like Will Smith will say stuff like that, right? When he was younger, I think he still does. Or who else? All kinds of people, all kinds of actors. This actor that was in the movie about the dinosaurs. What was it? The Lost World or something like that, Jurassic Park, but the newest one, one of the newest ones, the Lost World. He was, I think he was the owner of the park, of the newest one. And the guy flying the helicopter. And they were asking him a question, and he's like, "Yeah, people say I have a problem, but I don't think I have a problem." He's like, I'll work I'll outwork everyone any day. He's like, and if I talk to you and you become my friend, it's because I'm working with you. It's not because, like, I don't keep friends. He's like I don't. Anyways, what he was trying to say is that his whole experience in life is performing, right? It's not performing as an actor, but performance, like trying to reach his potential. These people are insatiable, right? And many times I've noticed that as artists and hanging out with certain artists and groups and myself, right? I'm sure other people saw that in me. Because I always talk about how I saw it in other people too, and I saw it in myself, but I'm sure other people saw it in me, and they're like, dude, this dude's just messing around. This guy's not really working. I saw that. I saw people talking about artwork as if it was going to be an event, right? Being an artist, achieving success in being an artist as if it was going to be an event that was bound to happen if you just kind of stay there, right? And a lot of people have that erroneously. So they keep lowering the target. At first, when you get started, you're like, I'm going to become this great artist, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And as years go by, you're like, well, I'll settle for being a national artist. And then years go by, and you're like, I'll settle for being the best known artist in my state. And then years go by, and then I'll settle for the co-op in my town. And then years go by and like, I'll settle for, and on, a retrospective of my 50 years of accomplishing very mediocre stuff. I'll settle for that, and then at least I got that. Now I'm not making, I guess I am. I'm not making fun of it. I'm making light of it. But we do that to ourselves. We do that to ourselves. We keep settling for less because otherwise we don't know how to explain it. Why did it not happen for me? Why am I not that artist that has reached his potential? Or shit, I don't know. The Oprah Winfrey show invited me, right? Or nowadays, right? Or the Whitney Museum wants to do a retrospective, right? The Whitney in New York wants to do a retrospective on my work, and my stuff is next to Basquiat's or whatever, And so we settle for less. We settle for less every time. And it's only to make sense of why it's not working, right? We do that to make sense of it. It's an attempt to try to make sense of it. And what I'm trying to share here, guys, is, look, there is time for you and there's time for me to go do what we need to do, to go and reach our goals and go after the things that we want. We just got to put in the work. We got to put in the work, and it can't be some work. We got to we got to put ourselves in it. That's the only way that I see that anyone is doing anything. When I was trying to create artwork, when I was trying to sell artwork in the beginning, and the first stages of me going solo, right? Going as a full-time artist, I was having very mediocre results. And I was like, man, I wonder what's happening. And I have a brother he's an entrepreneur, right? And he's like, dude, it's because your push is mediocre. And I was like, shut up. I was upset, right? He's like, no. He's like, just be honest with yourself. I was like, no, man, I'm trying really hard, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. He's like, no. And then he would tell me stuff that I believed was very strange, right? Very different, very strange type of things, like audit your time. He would tell me stuff like that. Like, how much time do you spend partying in the weekends? How much time do you spend, I don't know, like preparing? How much time do you actually spend working on your craft? And out of that, how much time do you spend marketing the work? And on and on and on and on. And, like he would tell me, like make he wouldn't use the word audit your time, but he would be like, make an account, right? Account your time. See how much time you're actually spending on each task and endeavor, and on and on. And at first I didn't like it, right? I was like, this guy's crazy, right? But as time went by, right, I started paying attention to that, and I started reading and understanding and learning about that, right? Reading books and this and that, attending seminars and talking to coaches and this and that, and some the wrong ones, some the right ones, and until it finally clicked. I was like, dude, I'm not working enough. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a very hard pill to swallow because we all think we are very busy, and we all think we're working a lot. And we're all, at the end of the day, whether you do a little or a lot, you end up tired. That is the magic of it. Whether you do a little or a lot, you end up just as tired. If you do less, you end up anxious and tired. If you do more, you end up tired only. You don't end up anxious. The anxiety goes down significantly, like almost non-existent. I used to suffer from a lot of anxiety, and the moment that I amped up my activity, the anxiety went down. The anxiety only rose when my activity was low. So I ended up tired and anxious. And again, to not make this any more longer than what I'm doing, that's why Michelangelo said, right? If people only knew how much I work, they wouldn't think I'm so great, right? And it got me to think, like Muhammad Ali and all the other great athletes, right? These guys built themselves in the training, These guys became champions not in the ring, but in the gym, right? It's in the work. So when I hear people saying like I don't know what my style is, I'm like, you haven't put in the work. So you're trying to figure out stuff that you shouldn't try to figure out. That should spring by itself. It should spring out on its own. You're trying to figure out things like, how do I get people to like my work? You're asking the wrong question. How about just show the work to the people? How do I get gallery shows? And produce little work. Stuff like that, right? It's all the wrong questions because we don't put in the work first. How's it going, guys? Now I can make some eye contact. So it's a bunch of wrong questions that we ask ourselves when we're starting out. It's like, how do I do A, B, and C? In hopes, right? In hopes, I think many of us think in hopes that we don't have to put in the work. And it's the work. It's the work that from out of the work, the art springs out. But it's out of the work. It's not the other way around. It's just like I mentioned earlier. If you want to lift weights, right, and get buff, I don't know, or run marathons or whatever you want to do, you don't go get the strength to go do it. You go do it to get the strength, right? It's like saying, I'm going to go get strong, and then I'm going to come back and lift those weights. No, you lift the weights to get the strength. With the art is the same way. You create the artwork to get the style. You create the artwork to get good at it. You create the artwork, right? You create. You go and you show your work to get people. How do I get a gallery show? You show the work. You create, you show. You create, you show. How do I get that good client? You show to a lot of people. To a lot of people that are not good clients. And then you get that one good client that all they do is they just want to spend all of their time and effort and money in your artwork. Those are some awesome collectors. I've been blessed by a few of those. They love what you do. They follow you constantly, and they love what you do, and that's the only way. It's showing up and showing up and showing up. And in order to stay fresh and not give up, you have to do as much as you can. You're always stretching yourself. It doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter if you're too young, too old. You're always stretching yourself. It's in the discomfort, right, that we grow. It's always like you have to constantly die. And I'm not, of course, please bear with me. This is an example. You always crack, right? You crack. And you keep, I'm uncomfortable today. I don't want to do work. Crack. I'm going to do it anyways. And then you crack. I'm uncomfortable today. I don't want to go and talk to this gallery owner. Crack. Every time you don't want to do something, think about it. This is a signpost that I need to do it. It's a signpost that's the way out. that's the way to my success, whatever that is for you, right? Maybe you're not looking for riches and name recognition and all of that. You're just looking to create artwork. Doesn't matter. You're still gonna have to crack. You have to crack that comfort level. And it's in the discomfort that we become better, right? It's in the discomfort that we become the artists. In the comfort, you become a painter. There's many painters out there. In the comfort, you become a painter. You're doing something that is comfortable. You're following a class. You're doing something A, B, and C. Okay. In the discomfort, when you start going into deep waters, you don't know what's going to happen. That's where the growing happens. That's where all of a sudden you stretch. You become more. It's not that you become. You've always been more. But you figure out, oh man, I got more juice. I got more potential. I didn't know that. It's kind of like that saying. People say out there, you don't know how strong you are, right? Till you face with a challenge. You want to constantly face yourself with challenges. And this is something that I'm trying to practice all the time, right? I'm looking like, oh man, I'm afraid to make that phone call. Okay, let me crack. I'm going to crack that. And I'm going to go do it, even though I'm afraid. I may be doing something stupid. I may be not saying the right things. My videos are not good enough. My English is not polished. My blah, 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 blah. So what? Crack. Maybe a year from now, you're going to be like, I remember Jose's first videos. They look like crap, right? And now Jose's like so well-spoken, man. Like he knows what he's saying. And he says it in a way, I don't know. Maybe never, right? But I'm going to crack. I'm going to open that. Because it's in the work, like Michelangelo said, right? Because he left us those quotes. In that quote, if people found out how much I worked, right, to achieve my mastery, they wouldn't think I'm so great at all. Because it's the work, it's available for you to. He was trying to tell us, look, it's also available for you. I don't have any magic. I just put in the work. I wanted it more than the rest of the people around me. I put in the work. That's how I did it. I'll leave you guys with that. The name is Jose Trujillo. I'm the world's greatest living artist. Thank you so much. I came here to the art store. Let's see what kind of goodies I'm gonna get, because I know that all kinds of cool stuff in here. Hello, people. Some of the best people here in the art store. Peace.
Just gonna peek over the brushes so you don't see me.
Hello. Let's check it out. I want some paper. Thank you guys for joining me here in the art store. I talk like this because it feels like I'm in a gallery. Let's see. I really like this paper right here. It's very good paper, watercolor paper. It's not that expensive. Cold press. I use it for ink too. You can get good amounts of it and not be so expensive. I mean, there's some really good expensive stuff, but some stuff more like that, you know it's more high-end because it's got the little plastic and all. But I produce a lot of work, so I need something that helps me with production also, not just something that's really nice. I want volumes of it. I want it to be good and volumes of it. So, wow. Thank you so much, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.